The 60th Diamond Anniversary for John and Barbara Heifner. The 2000s. Proverbs 31, verses 10. A wife a noble character who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships, bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it is still dark. She provides food for her family and portions for her servant girls. She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings she plants a vineyard. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her task. She sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. In her hand she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. When it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. She makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them, and supplies the merchants with sashes. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household, and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive, and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Give her the reward she has earned, and let her words bring her praise at the city gate. Proverbs 18:22. He who finds a wife finds what is good and receives favor from the Lord. 1 Timothy 5:14. So I counsel younger widows to marry, to have children, to manage their homes, and to give the enemy no opportunity for slander. Hebrews 13:4. Marriage should be honored by all, and the marriage bed kept pure, for God will judge the adulterer and all the sexually immoral. Genesis 2:24. For this reason a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and they will become one flesh. Matthew 5:32. But I tell you that anyone who divorces his wife except for marital unfaithfulness causes her to become an adulteress, and anyone who marries the divorced woman commits adultery. Mark 10:9. Therefore what God has joined together, let man not separate. Romans 7:2. For example, by law, a married woman is bound to her husband as long as he is alive, but if her husband dies, she is released from the laws of marriage. 1 Corinthians 7:10. To the married I give this command, not I but the Lord. A wife must not separate from her husband, but if she does, she must remain unmarried or else be reconciled to her husband, and a husband must not divorce his wife. Genesis 2:23. The man said, This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, for she was taken out of man. For this reason a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and they will become one flesh. Proverbs 5:18. May your fountain be blessed, and may you rejoice in the wife of your youth. Ecclesiastes 9:9. Enjoy life with your wife, whom you love, all the days of this meaningless life that God has given you under the sun, all your meaningless days, for this is your lot in life, and in your toilsome labor under the sun. Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself himself up for her. Ephesians 5:25. 1 Peter 3:7. Husbands, in the same way be considerate as you live with your wives, and treat them with respect as the weaker partner, and as heirs with you of the gracious gift of life, so that nothing will hinder your prayers. Esther 1:20. Then when the king's edict is proclaimed throughout all this vast realm, all the women will respect their husbands from the least to the greatest. 1 Corinthians 7:10. To the married I give this command, not I but the Lord, a wife must not separate from her husband. Ephesians 5:22. Wives, submit to your husbands as to the Lord. 1 Timothy 3:11. In the same way their wives are to be women worthy of respect, not malicious talkers, but temperate and trustworthy in everything. 1 Peter 3:1. Wives, in the same way be submissive to your husbands, so that if in any of them do not believe the word, they may be won over without words by the behavior of their wives. Proverbs 22:6. Train a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not turn from it. Ephesians 6:4. Fathers, do not exasperate your children. Instead, bring them up in the training and the instruction of the Lord. Proverbs 22:15. Folly is bound up in the heart of a child, but discipline will drive it far from him. Genesis 33:5. Then Esau looked up and saw the women and children. Who are these with you? He asked. Jacob answered, They are the children God has graciously given your servant. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Joshua 24:15.